Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto. Thanks for joining me today. Doing this video kind of at a weird time in to do a video like this. Basically because we're sitting at the bottom of this trend line in Bitcoin. We've been forming this channel ever since we broke down. Let me zoom out a little bit here. There we go. All right, so here's the 2-hour chart. Last time we spoke, we talked about we broke down from the head and shoulders pattern. And since then, we've been putting in this declining channel, which technically is a bullish pattern. Technically, a declining channel is bullish, like these rising channels are bearish. Okay, so excuse me. Although this obviously does not, nothing about this looks bullish, right? I think you guys can agree. Nothing about this looks bullish. In fact, we have increasing volume right here on the 2-hour chart. This is the highest volume we've seen since the initial breakdown, right about here, since the initial breakdown from the head and shoulders pattern neckline. So that implies there's definitely some weakness here. I do want to point out, however, while it may crack maybe overnight tonight, maybe early tomorrow, it's hard to say exactly. I was watching the charts in real time, and there did appear to be a decent amount of buying volume, you know, kind of towards this bottom area. And that could just be some of this channel support coming in. It's hard to say exactly, but that's really what it looked like. There wasn't enough. That's not what I want to say. What I want to say is that I didn't see the buyers go away. The buyers are still there. Okay, that's basically what I saw. But it doesn't mean they can't step aside at any time, run out of money, and just let this thing go lower. You know, however that's going to work out. And if it does bounce here, I don't think it necessarily means that, you know, Bitcoin's back in a bull, unless it's on extremely high volume. But if that happens, we're going to get another really big move like this. But we could go sideways. We do actually still have quite a bit of area over here. You see these triangles based off, you know, these trend lines. We do still have quite a bit of area over here if we do get a big bounce and if we don't just roll over. But, you know, hey, we definitely could just roll over. Bitcoin's looking extraordinarily weak. Another thing to note, which is not good for the market, is that Ethereum has now fully retraced its move from its prior high. Okay, so this is something definitely to take note. Ethereum is number 2 in CoinMarketCap. Obviously, we know, Bitcoin's down at 7,600, guys. Bitcoin's at 7,600 right now. I remember, it wasn't that long ago we were at 11,775. Now we're at 7,500. Man, how, cryptocurrency market flies, guys. It just flies. But Ethereum came all the way back down from 1,400 all the way back down to 420. Already fully retraced this move. You definitely could expect that there could be some accumulation here, albeit there's no institutions in cryptocurrencies. Ethereum being such a mega market cap coin, there probably are, extraordinarily deep pockets that may want to support it here near this 420 level. So you can probably maybe put on a bounce trade here, but you know how it goes in crypto. It just keeps going in either direction. It just keeps going in either direction. So any bounce trade you want to play off this 420 level, definitely make sure you have a hard stop in place. But that is definitely something to note overall for the market. But looking at Ethereum a little more closely, this is the weakest of kind of the bigger altcoins. You have the head and shoulders here, kind of rhyming with Bitcoin, but the right shoulder was much lower than Bitcoin's. Bitcoin's right shoulder was actually higher than the left shoulder, where Ethereum, it's not even a fight. The left shoulder wins this battle. And the target for this head and shoulders pattern, which we pointed out last time down here towards the 425 level, has already been reached, and we're sitting right down there as I'm recording this video. So this has already played out. Litecoin as well, looking extraordinarily weak, just really cratering. And the volume analysis here, although this isn't increasing volume to the downside, it doesn't have to be increasing volume. Really what this shows to me is that there's just no buyers in here. Sometimes what you'll have is a bit of increased volume on the downside like this, and sometimes it just means that people are buying up that supply that's being presented to the market. Well, we're not necessarily seeing that right now. We're not seeing that right now. We're not seeing that increased volume kind of doing that, you know, putting in that bottom, creating that volume. We're seeing the inverse of that. We're actually seeing a lack of volume, which to me just implies that it's just all selling. Like, it's just all pure selling. There's no one like actively buying this down here. So you can expect Litecoin to be weaker, and Ethereum looks like it wants to be weaker. And in concert with those, you're probably also going to see Bitcoin be weaker too. So everything just looks weak. XRP looks extraordinarily weak. Let's take a look at XRP. So XRP kind of breaking down on higher volume too, also catching a little bit of a bounce down here. So we could bounce right back up here, but just weak action, ladies and gentlemen, weak action until we finally see some strength somewhere at some point. You know, just stay out of the market. Just really stay out. If you're going to trade bounces, take profits extremely quickly. I definitely recommend that. One coin that is moving well, however, is Tron. Tron, as of late, is really the coin that's been outperforming everything. It's one of the few things of any consequence, at least, that is bullish. I mean, actually kind of bullish. If you look at coin market cap, one thing to note here, let's see what the market cap's slowly been declining. 287 held steady that time. But, you know, while Bitcoin's down 2.5%, pretty much everything else in the market is down as well, except for Tron. Except for Tron, Monero's holding a little bit of something here. Tron as well, but pretty much everything else down well over that 2.5%. Bitcoin is. EOS looking okay. But pretty much everything else in the top 10, top 15, you know, top 20, top 30, everything in the top 30. Bitcoin is basically, you know, the best performing one. All the alts are just failing, basically just failing. It's not very good. So if you're trading those altcoins, please take those profits quickly. And while you can possibly anticipate, you know, some kind of a short-term bounce, which could give, you know, the validity to some more Tron trades, generally the market looks extraordinarily weak here. This is not a good sign, a big lone volume candle like that. But we've seen them before down here in some scary situations. Look at this big red candle. This big red candle was put in. We kind of you know, rolled over a little bit, and then we formed a head here. So we could roll over here and retest this trend line. So, you know, Bitcoin can play tricks on you really until this trend line really breaks. This, you know, so far this isn't breaking. It's just resting down here. So we definitely could curl back up and remain in the channel, and then maybe even break up a little higher here, form another lower high. Maybe we get up towards this 8,000 level, and then we roll over, and then finally crack this line. You know, but I don't think that we're going to get a big crack, probably for at least another week. That would at least kind of give my price analysis a little bit of validity. And kind of what I mean by that is that I have Bitcoin bottoming towards the latter part of May. Okay? I have it bottoming towards the latter part of May. So, you know, it shouldn't crack here for that synopsis to play out. Not that it has to. It doesn't have to. I don't think, you know, all my calls are perfect. But that's what my analysis leads to, is a late May bottom there. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me today. As you can see, the market overall weak. And just not looking good. So thanks for joining me today, guys. I will see you next time.